Aabot daw ang kanilang bilang sa mahigit 10% ng ating populasyon. Ayon yan sa grupo ng mga lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transsexuals. Sabi naman ng simbahang Katoliko, okay lang na maging bading o lesbian, pero ibang usapan na raw kapag homosexual acts o pakikipagtalik sa parehong kasarian ang pag-uusapan. May report si Ruth Cabal.
Lantarang bakla si June Ariola at kahit pa sa sarili niyang anak, kailanman hindi raw niya tinago ang pagkabading, kasama na ang pakikipagrelasyon niya sa mga lalaki. Wala naman aniyang mali rito kahit pa sa mata ng simbahan.
Tawag sa'yo?
Papa. Nung malaki na yun, nagpalit ako ng boyfriend, mas bata. Alam na niya yun na sabi, bakla ang papa. Alam na niya yun kasi may beauty parlor ako eh.
Hindi inakala ni June na magiging bading din ang kanyang anak.
College na siya, parang nahalata ako, sabi yung boyfriend ko, uy, bading yung anak mo. Sabi ko, hindi gumanyan ako kasi ayaw kong matulad sa akin. Kasi alam ko yung kung gaano kahirap ng bading, di ba? Kasi marami pag pumupunta ka kung saan-saan, minsan, ibang tao.
Ang CBCP naglabas ng librong Homosexuality and the Church. Giit dito ng simbahan, hindi naman daw nito tinuturing na kasalanan ng pagiging homosexual. Pero ibang usapin daw ang pakikipagtalik sa kapwa babae o lalaki. Sabi pa nga sa libro, hindi raw makakapasok sa langit ang mga taong gumagawa ng homosexual acts.
A boy dresses like a girl and that's all what he does. I still do not see anything wrong in that.
Magkakaproblema lang kapag nakipag-sex ka na?
Yes.
Sa kapwa mo lalaki?
Yes, doon ang problema.
Hindi rin daw kasalanan ang ma-inlove sa kapwa lalaki o babae. Pero lalo raw nitong inilalapit sa tukso ang tao.
Kayo ay masasave pa. There is salvation, there is hope. But you have to cooperate with the grace of God.
Para kaming sakit, sumpa at parusa na hindi naman. At yung pagmamahal at pakikipagtalik ay pribado na naming pamumuhay yun.
Ayon sa grupong Ang Ladlad, 10% sa kabuuang populasyon ng Pilipinas ay maituturing daw na kabilang sa LGBT o lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transsexual sector. Kaya nga dati na sinusulong ng grupo na magkaroon ng formal na representasyon ang sektor na ito sa Kongreso. Pero natalo ang Ladlad sa party list elections noong 2010 dahil huli na ng payagan ng Korte Supremang tumakbo. Una na kasing binasura ng COMELEC ang accreditation ng Ang Ladlad. Sa mga tulad ni June na kabilang sa sektor na ito, nakasanayan at kinatandaan na raw nila ang umano'y diskriminasyon laban sa kanilang uri. Bagay na sana'y hindi na raw maranasan ng kanyang anak.
Paano ng aming bading kami and gusto namin yung lalaki, ano gagawin namin? Siguro ang Diyos tinatanggap din kami, di ba?
Ruth Cabal, GMA News.
Sa bansang sinasabing sarado katoliko, konserbatibo pa rin ang marami pagdating sa usapin ng sexualidad. Kahit pa sa lahat ng antas ng ating lipunan, may mga homosexual. Hanggang ngayon, malaking issue pa rin ito. Kasama ho natin ngayong gabi dito sa SONA si Father Dave Clay, member ng Commission on Family and Life ng CBCP, at si Ramil Andag, Executive Director ng Babaylanes, ang Alumni Association ng UP Babaylan. Good evening, Father Dave.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ramil. Si Ramil po ay aminadong bading. Okay, Father Dave, why this book and why now?
Well, this book is overdue because from my own experience, I am tired about how the men and women who are SSA, we call them SSA, we don't call them homosexuals or gays.
Okay, Father.
Our phrase is SSA. I'm tired of how they're being treated with disrespect.
Okay.
Sometimes like basura. I don't like it. It's not right.
Let me just clarify that the church says that it's okay to be homosexual, but not to engage in homosexual acts.
Sure. What can we say? Someone is born that way. It's not their fault.
But is it possible, Father, based on your studies and your surveys, is it possible to be a homosexual and not engage in homosexual acts?
Oh, yes. I work with 4 groups of men and women who are trying to be chaste. They don't always succeed. Those we call the other side heterosexuals, they don't always succeed in being chaste either, right?
Okay.
So-
Ramil, reaction.
First, I think that it's good that the Catholic Church is speaking about homosexuality na. Sabi nga ni Father kanina, it's been overdue. But I think that we should also be cautioned with the fact na iniiba ang act of engaging in homosexual acts versus the person, which is the homosexual. Because I think paano rin magiging kumpleto ang isang tao kung tatanggalin natin, I mean, we accept one side but we don't accept the other. Kasi with Babaylanes, we try to look at this from a human rights perspective. Ang sa amin is, yung mga ganitong mga statements po, will it result in further discrimination and stigmatization?
Pero parang sinasabi ni Father Dave na actually medyo pabor sa inyong samahan itong libro nila.
Pero titignan din po natin yung pagiging pabor. Kung okay lang na maging bakla, huwag ka lang mag-a-act on it. Paano rin naman yung totality of the person? And if we look at it from a perspective na kailangang gamutin, parang we have to go back 1973 kasi tinanggal na yung homosexuality from the list of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders ng American Psychiatric Association.
So Ramil, you're saying it's not possible
It's not.
na isang homosexual ay hindi mag-engage in homosexual acts.
And I think it's more unfair na titingnan natin bilang mali or sin ang pag-engage sa ganon.
But this book now, actually, parang mas maraming restrictions pa sa inyo ngayon.
Parang well, on one hand, it encourages coming out. Pero kung linalagyan din natin ng restrictions yung coming out, it's okay to be gay, just don't act on it. Hindi ko rin alam if this will result in more discrimination. Mas marami yung hindi magka-come out kasi ang dami-dami namang restrictions.
Father Dave, if somebody goes to you for confession and he or she says, I'm a homosexual, so what then would you advise?
I would advise, like I would advise anyone who is a human being, to be chaste. We're all called to be chaste, whether you're married or single, or whether you're a priest or a bishop, or whether you're SSA or straight. We're all called to be chaste. Chastity meaning that the only ones who are allowed to engage in sex are those who are married to each other, a man and a woman. That's what we believe in the Catholic Church. That's what we believe. And that's what I'm trying to share also. And of course, I realize that the others who believe what you believe, you don't believe that. You believe that it's like a third sex, and therefore you have every right to have sex with a man, just as a man has a right to have sex with a woman who is straight. I understand that, and we're not going to resolve it. This book is not going to resolve it. This book is only telling one side. You're going to tell your side, and we're going to have to live with that. At least we know I want everyone to know what the truth is as far as we can see it. But without any discrimination, I hope and pray there won't be any more discrimination.
I hope and pray the same, Father. But
yes.
I think that we should be also aware of that when the church as a structure says something, titingnan din we should look also at the influence pa rin, and how a lot of Filipinos would take it also as.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something, okay? In this book,
Yes, Father.
the book is dedicated to Joe Garcia. He was a counselor and a teacher at UST. His orientation was changed through therapy.
How did he do it, Father?
Through therapy.
Therapy.
We call it reparative therapy. His orientation from men was switched to women, but he never got married. Now, he in himself, because he's a counselor, he with his group helped to change 19 men, their orientation from being attracted to men to being attracted to women, but only those who wanted it. I'll give you an example. Years ago when I was in the university, a young man came to me. We had a contest. I was a judge. He came to me and he said, he was crying like a baby. He looked like a girl. He was just like a girl. He said, Father, I want to get married. I want to have children, but how can it be when I'm like this? If I had known then what I know now, I would have helped him change his orientation because he wanted to. He didn't like what he was.
Okay, but at least you agree on one point, Father, and Ramil, that the book seems to acknowledge that homosexuals are not being treated fairly.
Well, they're not. They should be treated with respect.
Can you tell us more about your findings?
Well, I mean, I think everyone who is listening to me or watching me can answer that question yourself. How do you treat them? How do you think about them? How do you feel when they come to you, especially guys like this, or a guy's dressed like a girl? And And I think you're going to start moving away. You know what I mean? People feel uncomfortable.
And you're saying they should be treated with respect.
Oh, yes.
At least,
Ramil?
at least on that point, we agree, Pat. And I hope we could agree on more points. But my take on this is, if we look at
can't.
if we look at it as something which should be cured, as a disease, mukhang doon din tayo kailangan mag-usap pa
I
ulit.
didn't call it a disease.
Or something which has to be repaired.
But this is something, I did not do it. These are men who came and said, I don't like what I am. Don't blame them.
Okay, we'll leave it at
Please.
that then.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you
We're
very
not
much.
forcing them, right?
Yes. Thank you very much, Father Dave Clay ng CBCP at si Ramil Andag ng UP Babaylan.